Hello everyone, Zelrinth here, and today I thought I'd just make a quick video on some more of the updates that we have seen on the CN side for things that are coming out within their system. They've given a little bit more updates on their stuff. I mean, we've got all the basic stuff we already saw in the live stream, like the new skins they have. The one for Leva will be coming out, as well as Shanju's, which is going to definitely be a great pickup there, as well as the free one they're giving out there, Mosin-Nagant. But the first thing that I seen here that was big that we hadn't seen before was going to be we actually have the new expansion keys listed here of what we can kind of expect. So I thought I'd kind of give my little bit of opinion on it. It's not completely what it is at this point, but it's enough to kind of give me some thoughts on where it could be useful. So we have the first one here, and I think this is going to be really important for Lena depending on the unknown parts of it. Lena's Lion's Resolve. So with her expansion key, after using her ultimate skill hunting strategy, Lena gains Light of Victory, an unknown effect. So we don't know what this effect is, but it lasts for 3 turns. One of the big things with Lena that's a big negative is that she has her ultimate has a cooldown of 6 turns. So at V0, because she kind of works like Klukai, where you can reduce the cooldown. It's really large, but you can reduce the cooldown. But at V0, you're not really going to be able to do that. So it's going to take 6 turns to do her ultimate at V0. But this will be up 50% of the time, whatever that buff is. But one big thing with Lena is her V1 and V2. I think V2 is her really good stopping point. Makes it where you can actually start reducing her ultimate skills cooldown. And if you have that, I believe even just the first dupe, but it may be the second dupe that you need to pull this off, you will be able to have this buff up 100% of the time. We do not know what this buff is, but depending on what it is, it could be pretty significant for her. They do mention that Lena, if you want, like, when it comes to actually being able to do reliable damage, even though she's more of a debuffer, you really want to get her V2 because of what it adds to her kit. And we'll kind of go over that kind of stuff once we get actually an announcement of Lena coming to us. We know she's not coming for the next 4 patches, so I'm not worried about actually going in depth into her kit, but this is just giving us a good idea on her value, whether it's going to go up or down, depending on what this buff actually means. Now, it's not the entire thing here, but you also have, after using the active skill Leaping Pursuit, increases the damage multiplier of the attack executed during extra command by 100%. And so that's one of the big things with her, and where it's really more important on dupes comes into play, is because with her skills, the big thing that reduces her ultimate is using Confectant's index points. And a lot of her skills have parts in their skill where it says, if you have 3 or more Confectant's index points, you get this extra little buff. And so if I actually pull up the chart here, we'll just actually take a look at it real quick here. You'll see on like this one, a Leaping Pursuit, this one, if Confectant's index has 3 points or more before skill activation, consume 3 points and gain extra command. So this is going to apply if she has that condition trigger, which you're pretty much always going to want it to trigger, and when you're using that skill. So she's going to get a massive damage increase on the skill after. And this is going to be actually really big for your V1 and V2s, because that's where she's starting to actually reliably be able to do damage a little bit more. So that one's going to be pretty huge as well there. And then for each 1 point of Confectant's index consumed during the round increases Lena's attack by 5% for the next round. And that is, like, her entire kit revolves around that. Now, one of the big negatives to me is this is really targeting more of her dupes, at least her first 2 dupes, because her first 2 dupes are going to make it much easier to get those Confectant's index points, and then also burning them through utilization of her skills, which then is also going to increase the rate at which she can do her ultimate, because to reduce the cooldown of her ultimate, she needs to use Confectant's index points. And so this I don't know if there's going to be a limit on this, because I think she can actually burn through like a lot really quickly. I think she can burn through all of them. So is that going to be a 30% plus increase to the attack for the next round? Because this could be pretty significant for her damage. So we're just going to have to see there. But I do like that one. The only negative is it still kind of makes you feel like you want to get her dupes to really get that damage amp But luckily, she is one that you really only need her first 2 if you're wanting to hyper invest into an electric team. So you have that one, but then we have the other one, which is the other electric unit, Mosin Nagant, that will be coming with an expansion key. We've already seen how the expansion key made Shanju and Tololo amazing, but Mosin Nagant is a little bit tricky here because we don't know the effect yet. But it's basically here, when an allied unit attempts to apply paralysis to a target, Mosin Nagant applies Electric Spark, which we don't know what that effect is yet, and that lasts for 1 turn. This effect activates only once per round. Now, we need to know what Electric Spark is, but depending on how good that is, this can be extremely good in making a Mosin Nagant potentially more damage, a higher damage dealer, or being able to provide damage amp to your entire team that might bring her value up significantly. One of the big things that I really like here, that I discussed this on the stream yesterday when I was doing my Klukai pulls, and when I saw this, is I didn't really recognize that it says attempt to apply paralysis. Because the one thing we were mentioning is, well, this is going to suck for bosses because you can't paralyze them. But it's saying attempt to paralyze, which means you should be able to trigger this every turn in the electric team. Even if you're not doing an electric team, because Lena's common key, if I've discussed Lena's common key quite a bit, Lena's common key puts on a debuff that makes it for the next attack to paralyze the enemy. And so with Lena's common key, you can trigger her expansion key every turn in any team that you put her in. So it's really going to come down to how good is Electric Spark. Because depending on if is this going to be very specific to only electric teams, or is this going to be a debuff that can be good for any team? Because it's just really going to depend. I mean, it's still... What I'm seeing here, though, is you're still going to want to get at least V4 Mosin Nagant, but especially get a V6 if possible, because this really isn't going to help her, in my opinion, on her V0, because I highly doubt Electric Spark is going to be that big of a difference. So we'll just have to kind of see, but I'm hopeful that it's really good, because Mosin Nagant is somebody you can target on the standard banner. So getting a V4 and V6 isn't, like, it's not something that's out of the possibility like a lot of people for limited units. But if you really like the electric team, you can go for her V6 quite easily, and you'll get it within probably a year's time frame. So by the time we get the full electric team, you may be able to get a V6 or V4 Mosin Nagant if you really like her as a character. So we'll just kind of have to see what that turns out to be. Now, I've lost 3 50/50s to Mosin Nagant, so I have her at V2 now, so I'm really hopeful that it's really good. Now, we do have the one problem with the electric team, which is now there are a lot of electric units now. So we have Lena, we have Lena and Leva, and they're pretty much going to be 2 of the core members from everything I can tell. We don't know what Robella has yet, but she's going to be electric, and I'm going to guess Robella is going to want to be in this team as well, since she's coming paired alongside Leva. So almost certainly you're going to want those 3, Lena, Leva, and Robella. And so then you have Belka and Andrus. To me, Andrus is almost certainly going to want to be in that team. And then Belka has also got some advantages to that team as well, but it's going to be kind of tricky. Do you want, but I think it's going to be more choice dependent there. Do you have to get a lot of dupes for Belka to make her work with the team, or is she going to work good there? But then what about Jianzhu? Jianzhu is really good, but if you need dupes to make her really good. And so that is kind of the one big negative of Mosin Nagant. While she can get really good, because you can get a lot of her pulls on the standard banner, is she going to be able to compete with your other electric units? Because we have 7 of them now. So in a 5-member fight, you're going to have to not use some of them. This is even a problem already now for the limited units, which really hurts Jianzhu's, not Jianzhu, Jianzhu. Yeah, I'm terrible with these names. They all kind of sound similar, but I think, yes, Jianzhu, which is the electric unit, where you want a lot of dupes. I think she's going to fall to the wayside, because it doesn't look like you're getting too much good things for her within the newer electric units. So we'll kind of have to see how that works. But yeah, that's Mosin Nagant. I think it's all right. We just really have to see what the debuff is, and I don't really think it fixes her problems at lower dupes, but we'll have to see when we get that. And that's kind of the main thing. I mean, it brings up some of the other stuff, like remolding pattern upgrade system, the rework of the battle pass, new profile backgrounds and all that. We've seen basically all this stuff in the live stream for it. Some UI changes. And one thing that they have here, we did see it in the live stream, but it's one big thing that I think I just mention here, and this is something we can expect to see. I think this is the third time they've done it. I'm not 100% sure, but they have this banner here. Now, this one is going to be a 100% rate up banner for both a character and a weapon. Now, how it works is you can pick one of the characters that are on the banner. And so in this case, it has Belka, Lena, Andrus, and Vector. You pick one and you have a 100% rate up. And I think it says it right here and here. Yeah, player selected banners will be available for them. These are the units. So yeah, Vector, Belka, Andrus, and Lena. And then they will be on separate banners. The Doll weapon selected, so you pick one of them, will be guaranteed upon rolling. So you can pick one of these and guarantee to get one of them. And this is going to be very important for my free-to-plays, especially if you're someone that wants to really conserve your pulls, because you are guaranteed to get this unit, and it's a separate pity. I believe it is a separate pity from your other system. So if you already have a guarantee, you don't have to worry about this banner burning that guarantee. It's its own separate pity. And so you don't have to worry about a 50-50 at all on this banner. So say you want to get a specific unit, or like maybe Vector here in this example. If you only had V0 because that's all you could get, now you can 100% guarantee that, which means you're probably going to get them in like 60 to 70 pulls. And so this is going to be a great opportunity for people not only to get a unit maybe they skipped, or a dupe that they really want but they don't have the pulls to get, but the same for the weapons. You're 100% guaranteed on the weapons as well. You do not have to worry about the 75-25 on that as well. And so just know these will be coming up, so don't be afraid to skip dupes on certain units or skip weapons and all that, because their opportunity may present itself. Because I think this is the third time they've done it. Now, there's no guarantee what units we're going to get on our banners, because we already know that, if I'm not mistaken, someone could correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but on the half anniversary, because I'm pretty sure they did this on the half anniversary as well with Klukai, they had units that we will not have yet. So they're going to have to change our banner up regardless if they do one of these on our half anniversary, because I believe it had Lena on that banner, but we're not going to have Lena by half anniversary. So we'll kind of have to see how they change that up. They could very well add someone crazy on there, but who knows? We'll have to kind of see at that point. But just know we have those coming in the future, and I would say you're almost always going to want to pull on these banners just because you don't have to worry about 50-50. It's a very efficient use of your pulls. The hardest part is going to be for someone like me who's pulling every single doll. So I'm going to be pulling on them, but I got to figure out which one I'm going to want to dupe for, because I'll already have every doll that's on there. So we'll kind of see. I'm hoping that we have at least Klukai on our next one, because if Klukai is on the guaranteed one, I'll pull another copy of our weapon. But we'll kind of see it there. And then there's one other thing I saw in here. I don't know if this was mentioned in the live stream. I mean, it was hard to tell, but I did see this looks to have a guaranteed weapon of some sort here. It's just like what we had in our beginner package where we could buy a weapon. And I don't know what this is saying, but there is looks to be a sort of selector for either a standard or a limited weapon, because we have seen a selector for limited weapons as well in the past. So just know we have those goodies as well. Now, the selectors for limited weapons, it was basically you pick one of the old characters and weapons that have already come out, and you can basically pay outright for them versus having to do the gotcha system to get them. So we'll have that probably come for us as well in the future, most likely an anniversary type deal. But we'll have to kind of see there. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to cover real quick on it. I mean, the main thing I wanted to go over was the expansion keys. So, well, I'll go over these when we get more numbers on them, as well as going over Leva's kit once we get the more details, because we don't have all the numbers on it yet. Leva is looking really, really good. She looks like she is going to bring, especially with Lena now getting her expansion key, they are going to be a good duel, and I'm almost certain that Robella is probably going to be really good in that group. So Electric is probably moving up in the meta. We'll just kind of have to see at that point. But yeah, that's just it for now. I'll make another video once we get more information. But if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.